Hello, folks. How are you? Hope everyone's good out there. Hope everyone is healthy and safe out there. It is good to be back here again to show some records. It's been a while. In this new year of 2021, and we are in the middle of March, this is only my second video I'm posting, so a lot slower production than what I normally do, but these are different times. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, good to be with you again, and I'm going to show you a small stack of records that I've accumulated from the last month or so. So let's get started. Why not? Why not? This is a reissue from Talk Talk. It's the Color of Spring album remaster that was done from the original tapes for better sound mix, or at least so the hype sticker says. And it's true. When I have a really good used copy in my collection, which I've had for years, and I was just curious to see if this did sound better. So I took a chance and went for it, and yeah, it sounds great. Whoever remastered this did a pretty good job. It sounds really good. Really good as far as the mix and the sound quality. I like what I hear, and this is one of my favorite Talk Talk records, this album. Of course, my favorite song in here is Life Is What You Make It, because many moons ago, many years ago, I jammed with a bunch of guys who were into jamming, not only jamming, but you know, they love to program keyboards and set up the sequencer, but have a live drummer play along with it. And Life Is What You Make It was one of the songs that we jammed on. Unfortunately, we never played out anywhere, but I had great memories of jamming that song. This album actually came with a DVD. It's basically a surround sound mix of the album. There we go. So there we go. Which I have not listened to yet, I gotta admit. I really gotta get on this. I don't know why I'm lagging on that. Probably because I'm having too much fun with the album. I'm not really into surround sound mixes that much anymore for albums, I have to admit. I mean, there was a time when I listened to them a lot, when I had first got a surround sound system. But as the years went on, I'm just more happier just to sit in front of my stereo, my turntable, and listen to music now. I don't really feel the need to crank the surround sound system anymore. Even when I watch movies, I don't really need it anymore. I guess it's a phase that I fell out of. So I'm not really big on listening to surround sound mixes anymore. But I do love the mix on this album. It sounds great. Side 1 sounds really good. You can hear the drums and the percussion a lot clearer. As well as the mids and the highs come through really good on this album. That's why I enjoy listening to it. It kind of opens up the soundscape, and you can hear the layering of instruments a lot clearer on this reissue. So I was really happy with it, and like I said, this and It's My Life are two of my favorite albums from Talk Talk. So, and I got both the reissues for both of them, and so glad to put this in the collection. Really great record. Alright, this next one I want to do a little bit explaining. I first got this used 45 from the band Icehouse. The song is Electric Blue. I remember the song really well. I'm not very familiar with the band, but back in the day I do remember liking this song. It was a good pop song back in the late 80s. So, and this is a good quality 45. It's a good copy. It's a real good copy. And the song sounds great on it. So this was a cool find. A couple weeks later, after finding this 45 and bringing it home, it made me curious to listen to this album. And on a separate dig, I went and found this album, which is Man of Colors from Icehouse. And of course it features the song Electric Blue. I have to admit, This is a band I'm not very familiar with. I just remember the song, Electric Blue. And so I was just, and since I like the 45 so much, it just made me curious to see what this album sounds like. And after going through it, I do remember the song Crazy. I just forgot that was done by this band. And I have to say, I love this album. I do love this album. It is a good album, and I enjoy listening to it start to finish. I've spun this in its entirety quite a few times already. I've only had this album maybe 2.5, 3 weeks, and it is already one of my favorite albums to spin. It is such a good album. If you're into 80s pop, it's a good album. If you don't care for that kind of music, well, it's not. This album's not going to do much for you, but it did a lot for me. I really enjoyed it. The first 2 songs are a great intro to this album. Crazy, Electric Blue. Of course, those were the 2 hit singles off this album. But it's a well-made record, and the songs are catchy, and they're entertaining to listen to. It's a good album just to throw on the turntable, have a few beers, and just chill with. It's if you're a fan of 80s music, this is a good album to own. And I do love me some 80s music. Since I was a teenager during the 80s, I remember a lot of these songs really well. Just the feel of it brings back memories. And yeah, I was really happy to put this in my collection. I'm going to be listening to this a lot. This is going to be a record that gets a lot of play in this music room. So happy to bring that home. So happy. Okay, let's get out of the 80s and show some Steely Dan. I believe it's Gaucho, how you pronounce this, or Gaucho. I don't know. I believe that's how it's called. This is a sick-ass album. I like this. This is quickly becoming my favorite Steely Dan record. I remember last year I noticed I didn't have much Steely Dan in the collection. And now I have a lot of their albums, all of them used, but I mean, that's the way I wanted it. And it's on the MCA label. Nothing surprising or shocking or interesting there, but great album. Great album. I had a blast listening to this. Babylon Sisters, Hey 19, Gaucho. Oh man, this was a fun album to chill with. I had a great time with it. I'm so glad that I put a lot more Steely Dan records in the collection. They are one of my favorite bands to collect as far as all their records. And just chill out and spin them and just enjoy that 70s vibe that their music has. Because it reminds me of my childhood. I was a little kid in the 70s. And I remember hearing a lot of these songs on the radio. And so bringing these albums home, it's like looking through a photo book, a family photo book. That's what it feels like, a mental family photo book. Just the way their albums are written and produced, it just brings me back to the 70s. I love I believe this album came out in 79, or probably 80 actually. I think it might have came out in 1980, but it still reminds me of 70s vibes. So, really cool record, really cool. Okay, this one I like, but I thought I was going to like it a lot more. The Doors, Soft Parade. It's a good album. I'm not 100% convinced it's a great album, but it has moments on here for me. Maybe I just need to listen to it more. But on first listen, obviously, I know the song "Touch Me" because it's played on the radio, classic rock radio, a lot, and that's the one I knew the best. The other songs I wasn't sure if I remembered or not. Listen to this whole album in its entirety. It was a fun listen, but this is not a record I don't think I'll go to a lot. But it does have a cool gatefold. Look at that gatefold. That is a cool looking gatefold. Probably one of my favorite gatefolds in my collection. Oh no, I just dig that picture. That's a good picture to take you to that time. I like it. I like it. And it is on Elektra. So there we go. Cool label. It's a good album. It's not my favorite Doors album. I think the first album was probably an LA one, probably my favorites. I just thought I was going to like it more for some reason. I don't know why. I think they had a different version that came out on Record Store Day not too long ago. I remember everybody was after that one, so it kind of made me curious about this album. And as you can see, this is a pretty well-loved used copy. I do like it. It just didn't like blow me away. I've only listened to it once and haven't went back to it yet. That doesn't mean I don't like it. I was just hoping to connect with it more than I did. And, oh well. Who knows? Maybe next time I listen to it, that's when it'll finally make a connection with me. But it's still not a bad album. This is another one that suffers from that, but at least I listened to the entire Doors album. I didn't do it with this one. It's from Midjo, the album Pure, one of his solo records. This is a UK copy of his album. This is Midjo, if I'm saying his name right, is one of my favorite artists from the 80s. And I respect him as a songwriter, musician, a producer. I really like his style, and I saw this in the record store and immediately snatched it up and thought, oh man, I can't wait to take this home and listen to it. And I think I've had this record for about a month now, and I've only listened to side 1, and I've not listened to side 2 yet. I can't really give an honest opinion about this record because I've only listened to side 1, and that was like a month ago, and I already forgot what all the songs sound like. I just remembered halfway through side 1, I couldn't wait to get to the end of it. So I could put it back in the sleeve and get to it later. At least that's what I told myself, and I've yet to listen to the rest of the album. I remember side 1 had some okay songs on it, and the rest of it just didn't do anything for me. It just didn't do anything. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad album. At the time I was listening to it, I just didn't want to get into it. It just wasn't working for me. But I had this feeling like maybe now's not a good time to listen to this. I don't know why I thought that. I bet you if I put it away for a while and then throw it on some days later, it'll finally connect with me, and then I'll start feeling this album. And I'll appreciate it more. Well, I've yet to do that, so I can't really give you an honest opinion about it, because, like I said, I've only listened to side 1. Halfway through it, I wanted to go to another record, and never went to side 2, and forgot what the songs even sound like on side 1, the ones I listened to. So maybe later down the line, I'll give this record a second chance, and let's hope it makes some kind of a connection with me where I can get into something. But at first listen, it didn't work for me. And but because I respect this artist so much, I'm willing to give it another chance. Like, come on, maybe I just wasn't in the mood the day I listened. Maybe next time I listen, I'll be more open to what this album can offer. But for now, it's like, I'll get back to you when I can throw myself into it. So there we go with that. Okay, some singles. Let's just go through this. One of my favorite 80s bands is Big Country. So here's the single for their song Chance. Great song. Absolutely great song. Love it. The B-side is the song The Crossing. And another great one. And there's a live version of the classic song Tracks of My Tears on side A. So really cool single. There's the label there. I love collecting these singles that I don't see every day in the record store, and they only cost like a couple bucks. This was like $2. And I just love collecting these singles. The 80s kid in me likes to collect this stuff, so I usually have a ball with it. So right on. From Robert Plant, Burning Down One Side, single for that song. Really cool. I think it was off his first solo album, I believe. It's from the album Pictures at 11, which I think was his first solo album, if I'm not wrong. Hopefully I'm not wrong. On the B-side, Night in Samosa. I can't really read this. Oh, Samora. Samora. And Carport. And what I love about this single is the label, the Swan Song label. That is the coolest freaking record label. That is so awesome looking. That's why I like collecting Zeppelin records and some Bad Company. So I just love that label. It looks so awesome. When I was spinning this, I was reminded of an incident that happened here where I live. I live in a town called Stockton. And one of our local bars, this was a couple of years ago, there was a Zeppelin tribute band that was playing. And this band, of course, they dress up in the costumes, the wigs. They have the John Bonham drum set and the double guitar, and the guitarist plays with the bow, and they really make an effort to make it feel like you're watching a Zeppelin show. Not by just knowing the songs note for note, but dressing and looking the part as well. So before the show started, I'm sitting at the bar with other people waiting to see the show, and they're talking about their favorite Zeppelin songs and how much they like this album and that album, blah, blah, blah. And then I was about to jump in the conversation and just say, hey, have you ever heard live version of this, 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 and this? When they started talking about Robert Plant's solo career, and they all mutually agreed that his solo albums suck. All of them. And it's an embarrassment. And, you know, we love Zeppelin, but we hate Robert Plant's solo records. And they all mutually agreed, and they just, before I was going to add some of the conversation, they went into this. I just sort of just zipped it and kept my mouth shut, because I like his solo albums. I like some of his solo songs. And I just couldn't believe that they were that close-minded. It's like, I think, you know, Zeppelin has a certain sound, that hard rock blues sound that everyone likes. And if, you know, someone goes solo, it does anything else remotely different, the fans just tear him a new one. And I don't know why. When I started listening to this, because I love the song Burning Down One Side. I love that song. Burning Down One Side, yeah. And I don't know, I was just reminded of that conversation. I just thought, you guys are... I just thought they were very close-minded to be attacking his solo career like that. And it was kind of a downer. I get the same thing from Genesis fans who hate anything they did in the 80s. And when I heard that, I just like, why are these super fans so close-minded? They're like Zeppelin only does one thing, and you know, if a member goes solo, they cannot do anything else, because it's just morally wrong. I just can't stand to hear fans talk like that. I just don't. Needless to say, I didn't agree with them. All right, the last 12-inch single is from OMD. It's Genetic Engineering. I wish I hadn't bought this, not because I don't like the songs, because I already have a copy of this 12-inch single, and I forgot I had it, because I have so many OMD 12-inch singles. I just forgot I knew I had the 7-inch. I couldn't remember if I had the 12-inch or not, and I saw it sit on the shelf. Like I said, it was only a couple bucks, so I thought I'd take it home. Once I got home, I checked my collection. There's already a copy in there, about equal quality to this one, so now I got a duplicate. And I love the song. On the B-side is For New, the song For New, and same label as my other copy. I love collecting these 12-inch singles from the 80s and early 80s. They are so fun to collect. I wish I didn't grab a duplicate, but I love the cover. I love the song. How could I have said no? I wish I had said no, but I know I couldn't have. All right, some quick 45s I want to go through. From the band Toto, the song Pamela, one of my favorite Toto songs. It's from the album Seventh One. There's the album cover. And what label? Oh, it's on the Columbia label. So there. Always love the song Pamela. I don't know if I don't think I have this album. I should pick it up, but I have it on a greatest hits compilation, and it's a great song. I love this 80s kind of groove it has. It's a cool song. They were one of my favorite bands from back in the day. They still are one of my favorite bands, am I saying? And that is one of my favorite songs for them, as well as this one, Stranger in Town. More of an 80s pop single. For hardcore fans of the band, probably not their best song, but I was 14 when this song was brand new, and when I first heard it, I was instantly hooked. Same label, Columbia. That was the last one. Yeah, when this was a brand new song, I was instantly hooked. I remember seeing the video and thought, this is a great song. And some of my older relatives who have been with this band since the very beginning, again, would go and have discussions of how much they thought this song sucked, and it's not as good as the Toto songs of the past. And I thought, that's too bad, because you guys are really closing your eyes to what is a good song. A good song. You guys should give it more of a chance, but that's just me. And another one, this is from the Toto 4 album, I Won't Hold You Back. Another great song from Toto, from a great album from Toto. Had all their major hits on it. This is a white Columbia label, so most likely a promo copy. Really great song. They're a great band. I believe Steve Lukather is reforming the band because they're having their problems internally, I suppose. So basically it's Steve Lukather and whoever he hires to take on the road with him, which it won't be the same thing. But since I've never actually seen Toto live before, it's better than nothing. So there we go. Next one, this last one is from Sade. Hold On to Your Love. Look at that beautiful, beautiful picture of Sade. Woman was gorgeous, or still is gorgeous. And beautiful voice to match. Absolutely beautiful voice to match. And I don't know what label this is on, or portrait label. There we go. Absolutely great song. She was one of my favorites when I was in high school and into my 20s. Love me some Sade. I got quite a decent collection of her stuff too, so adding another 45 is always a cool thing. Alright, that's it. That's just the short little haul I have. Haven't been digging much as of lately, but stores are starting to open more. There's less restrictions. And maybe I'll hit the vinyl stores a little bit more often. Looking forward to when the weather gets nicer, taking some road trips and doing some cool digging out of town. So that'll be fun. Anyway, that's going to do it. Hope everyone is doing well, as I said earlier. Please leave me some comments. I would love to hear from all of you. I miss chatting with you guys. So until next time, see you in the next video.